Make sure to follow outrun.86 on Instagram to stay up to date. Alright, it's time for the recap. I had a coupe that looked like this, but then I flipped it, and now it looks like this. We assessed the damage, realized we could save a lot of parts. I hopped on a plane and bought this red hatchback with a blown engine. I shipped it home to New Jersey, we pulled the engine out of the coupe, we pulled the engine out of the hatch, and then we sent the hatch to a shop to get a rebuilt 4AG installed. When we brought it home, we had to rerun the engine harness, and we realized we didn't have the right dash harness, and we wouldn't be able to start the car. That brings us to today.
Nick's gonna wire up the fans, we're gonna put in the dash. The wiring is pretty much all here, so all it needs is just fluids and it should just turn on, hopefully. Yeah.
No, it will.
Yeah, it will.
It will.
Yeah, there's no reason why it won't crank as long as we plug the battery and give the whole car power, and there's no smoke.
We found and installed the proper dash harness, so now we're putting a dash back in the car.
Like a glove. Okay, actually, how's the etiquette? I'm gonna need you. This is nothing like a glove.
Just do a little. There you go. It makes scary noises.
Just
It's lining up with this hole already.
a little massage.
It's lining up with that hole already.
The dash is going back in, which is great. It's starting to feel like a car again, which it hasn't felt like for a long time. Suddenly, I am believing that it's gonna run today. I'm pretty excited.
We're doing the final things before we turn the key. We're putting oil in the engine and putting oil directly on the cams to make sure everything is lubricated for this first startup.
We've been tidying stuff up all day. It's getting close. We should fire it up soon, so.
Everybody get a fire extinguisher.
Your car has power to it.
Okay, let's check it out. Is it gonna explode?
We're gonna put the key in.
You got power here. All right, so just about like everything is plugged in. We put fuel in it. We put oil in it. We put coolant in it. We are gonna try and start it.
It looks like we might be moments away from trying to start the car. We started the day thinking we'd kind of walk in here, knock things out in like an hour and get it started, and then go through a new laundry list of suspension and other stuff. But it took a while. There was a lot of weird problems we were chasing down. We had some wiring issues. We found out the rear harness of the car is still SR5, so we had to run a wire to the fuel pump. Can't really get the cluster working exactly how we were hoping, so that's been a lot of Nick soldering wires and fixing things like that. But right now it looks like we're kind of in a place to start it, so I'm a little nervous, but we're gonna see what happens. Here we go, I think. Nick's gonna start it. Evan's gonna watch the back and make sure that nothing blows up near the gas tank.
Nothing.
Wait, did you really try it?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, here we go. Attempt number 2. We didn't do that much, but we did hit the starter with a screwdriver, so, you know, anything can happen. All right.
Stop the stop.
All right, positions, everybody.
You hear it clicking, like it wants to turn over?
I gotta click it. Nope. Let me do the tap.
Yeah, as soon as I turn the key, I see the red tap. You're actually ready?
Wait. Go for it.
Boned.
Something.
Yeah, that sounds good. Alright, we can't fuel gauge. Did you hear the pump prime at all?
No.
Alright, that's the problem. We don't have fuel. Once it has fuel, it's gonna fucking start. That sounds so tight. Like tight, like.
My heart is beating.
That sounds good. That's awesome. I should crank my car just so you guys all can feel better about a rebuilt 4AG.
For some reason, we're not getting power through our fuel line. No, not fuel line. Power to the fuel pump. So we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna jump it from a separate battery. and we just tested it now and it does work. So we're priming the fuel pump and we're gonna start it. We're just going to start it. So let's do that right now.
Ready.
Oh, that's fuel coming out. Not in the front, on the back.
Oh yeah. It just spit that out.
Alright.
Nick, it smells like gas. Why?
You know we got that loud gas in this bitch. Are you talking about fuel?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, no, it's just fuel from the gas tank.
I think we got a line that's a bit loose. We're gonna check on that, sort it out, tighten it up, and it's really there. It really is just there.
Nick dropped the gas tank to switch the send and return lines around. We're gonna check it one more time, and then it's time to start it.
We're about to crank it right now.
Let me know when.
We got power?
Got power.
Here we go, ready?
Take it off, Evan.
Any leaks?
Doesn't sound like it.
Nope.
So it sounds like one of two things. We still have our lines screwed up somehow, even though we've tried basically every combination, or your ECU's not grounding your injectors.
It's a bit of a disappointment, but we'll be back. And the car is literally just there. Fuel is going through the lines, and you just don't know why it's not going to the rig. And it's got ignition, it's got spark. It wants to start. I can tell it wants to start, but you know, shit happens.
So last Hosen and Evan were here, we tried to crank the car over. We were all together. Gave it like 15, 20 attempts, no luck. Hosen and Evan left. Me and Eric realized we might have the wrong math in because we have just a mix up of parts here. So we swapped the math because we realized the other one was MR2, I believe? Something like that.
That was a Toyota truck.
Yeah, it's a Toyota truck, but yeah. So we put the correct math in and figured everything was grounded or through the connectors in the harness, but I learned later, that there is a single OEM pin on the panic harness. It runs at the end of it. Could have sworn Mark said it was for auxiliaries and stuff. So we left it. Later I asked him again, I said, what is this for? He said, no, that's the MAF ground. Oh. So I put that right to ground. Everything's grounded now, and I think we'll have better luck this time. So we're about to give it a shot. Another shot. Fucking did it.
Oh, it started.
And it ran.
Were you holding your foot down on that?
No, that was, I just did it just to get it past the initial,
But then you stopped? You weren't giving it throttle?
No, that was it.
Holy
That
fuck.
was- yeah, it's gonna sit a little high for a little bit. We gotta adjust TPS, gotta make sure the idle control is adjusted properly.
Right, but that was it, yeah.
That's fucking it. That was great. Been waiting for this forever. Like a year and 10 years now?
Holy shit.
That sounded pretty fucking tight too, like, fuck.
I've owned this car for over a year and it's finally running. I can't explain how excited I am. Let's jump to today and I'll show you where the car's at now. So you guys just heard the car start for the first time, but that was like 7 or 8 months ago, and since then, a lot has happened. Unfortunately, we didn't film a ton of it, so I'm here to catch you guys up. And there's a lot to catch you up on because mechanically, the 86 is complete. You guys may have seen the 86 floating around on the internet. It was on Petrolicious when we went to Radwood, and it was in a More Skids video when the guys came to New York.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's so cool. I know, right?
Why can't I have a nice car? This
Yeah, this thing's so clean.
It's pretty much the OEM interior. Some floor mats that I just wanted to pop a little bit, and I have a few options. I have some cool ones from Expert Oz, as well as some pretty basic ones like these, just these kind of red maroon ones. And we have some Recaro LX seats, and they're reupholstered in the Recaro confetti fabric that I think everyone's familiar with. And overall, I'm real hyped on this. This is the perfect interior to me. We pretty much pulled everything out of here down to the bare metal. We scraped a ton of the sound deadening away, and then we laid down completely new Dynamat. We put down new, thicker carpet and reassembled everything to try and have as few interior rattles as possible, which is a pretty difficult thing to do on the 86.
So now that Eric's car is complete, we can show you guys the engine bay. We put a lot of work into making sure that this engine bay is clean, there's no excess wiring. I trimmed down a ton of stuff. I fixed a little bit in the headlight harness. Overall, there's nothing out of place. It's really clean, and I'm really excited about the way it came out. Eric installed the intake recently. The fans and everything fit great. He has no cooling problems. He has no startup problems. It's just a reliable 86. It's what he really wanted from the beginning. Not to mention, it's just really nice to look at.
Let's start the car. This is a cold start. We haven't run this in a few hours, so take a listen to this. Running super smooth. We have, I think we have the timing all worked out, which was tricky, but after bouncing around, we realized the cam gears needed a little bit tweaking. So we did that with my friend Y. Hosen's talked about him, the 86 secret shop in Brooklyn, and it's sounding great. So let's talk about wheels and suspension. We have long champs on this car again, just like the coupe, but this is a new set. These are a set of 15-inch. The coupe had 14s. And as far as suspension, we have a really cool coilover setup from a brand new company called Annex. Annex worked really closely with Battle Garage to really make these coils for 86 drivers that want to be competitive and want to have fun on the road, but don't want to compromise just being able to drive the car, which is a really big thing for me. You know, I want to drive spiritedly, but I also want to go on road trips. I want passengers to be in my car without having to apologize for them and explain why the car is so bumpy, which is usually a tough thing to do in the 86. But the Annex stuff has been awesome so far. People ride in the car and just enjoy it, and that's exactly what I was looking for. So I got an early set of these. I think they're about to be for sale. I think you're gonna be able to buy them through Annex's website. You can buy them through Battle Garage, and I have a set of 6K front and 4.7 rear, and I'm in love with it. The car is low, the tire's tucking a little bit, but I'm still comfortable, and I'm driving through Brooklyn, hitting potholes, hitting speed bumps, and just enjoying driving.
It's really crazy to be on the end of this right now. The fact that there's a flipped 86 coupe outside of my shop, and then there's this complete gorgeous 86 hatch that Eric talked, like dream. It sounded like a pipe dream. I'm gonna go to Cali, I'm gonna get this car, we're gonna put this back together. But to be here and to be looking at this car done with already about 1,000 miles on it, it's really a spectacular thing. So Eric, congrats. Thanks for having me a part of this journey. It's been too much fun.
It's just crazy to think about how much work has been put into this and the journey that Eric and this car have been on since he's acquired it, and it's just such a good feeling to finally be sitting next to it and having it be a running, driving car, and it's just awesome.
I have to thank you guys for sticking with us for 2 years during this car build. I know we haven't been posting this vlog consistently, but it means the world that I see you guys commenting, always asking when are we gonna see Eric's car, when are we gonna see the hatch. As of right now, there's no immediate plans for this car. I know that maybe in 6 months or a year, we're gonna focus on the aesthetics. The car is gonna get its aero, like side skirts and spoiler. It's gonna get a total repaint. It's gonna be looking gorgeous, but I don't know exactly when that's gonna be. But when it happens, I'll make sure we film every second of it and upload it. But we have a ton of awesome projects happening on Progression D. Evan's car is getting built. Hosen's always working on his 86 and the IS. I have another project in the works, and we're gonna be focusing a lot on Nick's car, so please stay tuned for everything we have coming up. We appreciate you guys always watching and hanging out, and we'll see you soon. So even though mechanically the car is finished, things are really just getting started, because now we get to do what we built this car to do in the first place. The adventures, the road trips, it's all coming really soon, and we can't wait to share it with you. We're not sure exactly what's next, but I think that's the most exciting part. This might be a red 86, but it's not the 86 you just saw. Stay tuned on Progression D, because on the next episode we are going to be starting a new build.